shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, eye you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, eye you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, eye you won't tear down, coming after me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. No, it chases me down, finds till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God.
Please rise. You may be seated. Family, friends, we gather here today in the presence of God and you all as witnesses to
celebrate the love of Michael and Kristi. We come today at their invitation to share in the joy of their wedding. Scripture tells us that for this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united with his bride, and the two shall become one flesh. Michael and Kristi come today desiring to be united in this sacred relationship we call marriage. Today is probably not the picture anybody had in their mind when they thought of this day, but I want to let you know a little secret that the married people here already know. That's not how marriage works. The pictures we have in our mind almost never work out, and guess what? That's okay, because it's always better. It's always more meaningful, and it always adds to the story that our lives and our marriages tell. So I'd like to ask this time, who gives this woman to be married to this man? Our brother and I. So, Kristi's one request was that today not be all sappy. So, I'm not going to tell you how proud I am of you guys. I'm not going to tell you how much I love you and how honored I am to be here today. I'm not going to tell you that I feel like a proud dad getting to stand in front of you guys and be part of this most special day for the two of you. I will say that it's been a joy to watch you two go from a couple of kids awkwardly dating to now a couple of kids awkwardly married, and that's a cool transition to get to watch. So let me pray. God, it's our desire to honor you. We're here today at this wedding. We are blessed to call Michael and Kristi our friends, our family, but their desire is to honor you. We know that the institution of marriage is your idea, that it's a gift to us, and we thank you for the love that you birthed in the hearts of Michael and Kristi for each other. And as they venture down this road, pray they never forget this day where they stood in this spot, surrounded by these people, and began their lives together. It's in your name that we pray. Amen. In preparation for today, I asked a couple of specific questions to each of you. So just tell us how exactly we ended up in this spot. So I asked Kristi, why are you getting married to Michael? And she told me this: Michael is my best friend, and we love embarrassing each other. So why not spend the rest of our lives doing that together? I asked her, if you wrote a song about the first date, what would you call it and why? She said, I would call our first date Worth the Wait. We had liked each other since middle school and had our ups and downs, but God brought us together at the perfect time, and it was 100,000%. I think I got the zeros right. It was worth the wait. I asked her, what's the funniest thing that's happened in your relationship this far? She said, I think the funniest thing is that we love embarrassing each other in public. Like when we go shopping and goof off loudly by calling for each other across the store or saying crazy things to each other to make us belly laugh. I'm sure we get crazy looks from people, but I love being myself with him and making the simple things in life fun. I said, please sum up in 20 words or less how you feel about Michael. She said, 20 words, and all in caps. She said, he's my best friend. I love his heart for God and his family, and I am so blessed to have him in my life. And then in parentheses, she put, plus he has great hair. That's really important. You gotta get the important things. I asked Michael, I said, Michael, on a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous were you when you proposed? And he told me 50 times 10. We were hiking up to Natural Bridge, and all I could think of is how else could I make this perfect, and then hoping she wouldn't push me off. That would have been a funny prank. That would have been hilarious. I said, what's the one thing you love about Kristi, Michael? He said, just being around her is what I love. I just feel safe, calm, and at peace when I'm with her. And I said, please sum up in 20 words or less how you feel about Kristi. Oh, this is not 20 words, but that was good. He said, she's literally the best thing that's ever happened to me. And asking her to marry me feels like one of the only things I've done right in my life. I still get butterflies whenever we meet up to hang out or go do something. And And now I get to spend the rest of my life with her. I'm very excited to see what new adventures are ahead and what God has planned for us. Oh, that was great. Guys, I like to say a couple things just to you. Remember today. Significant time, energy, worry, pressure, all went into making today happen. And you know that better than I. And I think it's for this reason, that you never forget the significance of the decision you made today. Marriage is a gift. I firmly believe that. I promise you that if you ground your relationship with each other and your relationship with God, that the story your marriage tells will outshine anything you do in your life. Bigger than any career you could accomplish, kids or family or whatever happens, the story that your love for each other tells will outshine all of it. That doesn't mean it's all sunshine and rainbows. All the people who are married in the room could tell you that there are hard times. And there will be times where your spouse does things that frustrate and infuriate you. Kristi, mostly talking to you. You get this. But remember today on days like that. Right? 1 Corinthians 13 describes love like this. It says, love never gives up. Love cares more for others than for self. Love doesn't want what it doesn't have. Love doesn't strut, doesn't get a swelled head, doesn't force itself on others. Isn't always me first. It doesn't fly off the handle. It doesn't keep score of the sins of others. It doesn't revel when others grovel. It takes pleasure in the flowering of truth, puts up with anything, trusts God always looks for the best, never looks back, but keeps going to the end. Love never fails. Elsewhere, Paul will tell us in Ephesians that for this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. And then he continues. He says, this is a profound mystery, but I'm talking about Christ and the church. However, each one of you must also love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband. He says, when your marriage is done right, it will show people Jesus. The way you guys love each other, with the kind of love that God has given you, will make just no sense except for what God is doing in us, what Jesus has done in you. And it will show them who God is. And then Paul gives you two pieces of advice. I think you'd be wise to hang on to these. First, he says, husbands, love your wife as yourself. Michael, if you don't put Kristi first, if you don't do everything you can to accomplish every dream she has in her life, you'll be falling short of your call as a husband. That's where Paul tells us that we should love our wives like Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, meaning that he died for her. And that's what you're asked to do. And then, Kristi, you're told to respect your husband. Respect's not a very popular word when it comes to marriage these days. And it probably won't come normally for you, just like what's asked of Michael. To put him first. To forgo selfish desires, to do your best to support him, to help him be the best man that he can be. That word respect, if you tell Michael the kind of man you believe he's capable of being, and if you show him that you are behind him, no matter what comes, that's like rocket fuel for a guy. He will blow up and become like a better man, a better husband than you ever dreamed he could be. And the source of all this, of course, is Jesus. The Spirit of God will give you strength and guidance to be the best partner that you can be for each other. And when you do these things, you show the world around you the love of God. So don't forget today. You're surrounded by these people to witness this wedding, but also they're here to stand guard for you, to support you and help fight for your marriage. Everyone here, you're making a promise that if either of these two ever need you, ever have to have your help, could ever call on you for any reason, that you will answer. You'll step up, that you'll be there for them. So, I'd now like to ask you to make your marriage the highest priority in your life, surpassed only by your relationship with God. And if so, say, we do. We do. Now, turn and face each other, taking each other's hands. Now invite you to commit your lives to one another by the expression of your marital vows. Eye to eye, face to face, and honest promise to your best friend. Michael, I will begin with you. Repeat after me. I, Michael, take you, Kristi, to be my wife.
I, Michael,
To have and to hold from this day forward,
to have and to hold from this day forward,
for better and for worse,
for better and for worse,
for richer and for poorer,
for richer and for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish
to love and to cherish,
for all the days of my life.
for all the days of my life.
And now, Kristi, would you repeat after me? I, Kristi, take you, Michael, to be my husband.
I, Kristi, take you, Michael, to be my husband.
To have and to hold from this day forward,
To have and to hold from this day forward,
for better and for worse,
for better and for worse,
for richer and for poorer,
for richer and for poorer,
in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish
for all the days,
for all the days of my life.
all the days of my life.
Michael and Kristi have chosen to seal their love with rings. Jewelry people wear often tells us a lot about them, their sense of style, sometimes their net worth, those sorts of things. But these rings will be constant reminders to you and to everyone who sees them of the commitment you've made to one another for life. They're made of precious metal, signifying the high cost you're willing to pay for one another. Their shape speaks to the unending nature of your love for each other. So we have the rings. I'd like to ask Michael to take Kristi's ring and place it on her finger. And repeat after me. With this ring,
With this ring,
I thee wed.
I do wed.
Pledge to you my heart and soul,
I pledge to you my heart and soul,
with all that I am
with all that I am,
and all that I have.
and all that I have.
I honor you and the vows I made to you today. Okay, Kristi, I'd like you to take Michael's ring and place it on his finger. And repeat after me. With this ring, I thee wed. Pledge to you my heart and soul. All that I am and all that I have, I honor you and the vows I made to you today. Michael and Kristi are now going to participate in a unity element where they're going to tie 3 ropes together, signifying their lives, which have been these separate units to this point, and their relationship with God. And from this point on, there's no separating the 3 of them. So, guys, we'll give you some time here.
No place I'd rather be. No place I'd rather be than here in your love, here in your love. No place I'd rather be. No place I'd rather be. There's no place I'd rather be than here in your love, here in your love. Set a fire down in my soul that I can't contain, that I can't control. I want more of you, God. I want more of you, God. So set a fire down in my soul that I can't contain, that I can't control. I want more of you, God. I want more of you, God.
you pray with me? Eternal God, author of salvation and the only one worth praise here today, we ask your favor on this man and this woman who have come before you today to be wed. Give them grace as they go from two into one. Help them knit their lives together as they grow in love for each other and for you all the days of their lives. Help them as they traverse this uncharted ground. There will be days when it is harder than they ever imagined it would have been, and days when it is more beautiful and glorious than they could believe. Remind them that you have and will continue to write in them a better love story than they ever would have written on their own. I pray that we, as their friends and family here today, would help them to flourish, to be a support system for Michael and Kristi. And above all, God, we pray that you're given praise and honor for what you've brought together. That their lives will serve to point each other and everybody who knows them to you. God, we love you. It's in your name that we pray. Amen. Michael and Kristi, you have given yourselves to each other by solemn vows. For us and God as witness, you've shown your affection and trust by the giving and receiving of rings, by joining your hands and hearts together. So, I pronounce that you are husband and wife in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate. Michael, I invite you to kiss for the very first time your wife. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to introduce to you for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Guerrero.
Three's a crowd.
We're going to reset for the reception, so you all are dismissed while we grab some tables and move them around. Feel free to help out. Give the instruction if you'd like. And then they'll come out and join us in a few minutes. Thanks for attending today, guys.